Thank you for choosing Wisdom of the Dharma. If you found this video insightful, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new update. Your support helps us keep sharing powerful, life-changing wisdom with the world. And don't forget to drop a comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Let's grow and learn together. Part 1. The Hidden Wealth Signal You've Been Missing. There's something quietly powerful found in the homes of the wise and wealthy, something so simple, you might overlook it completely. It isn't flashy like a luxury car. It doesn't glow like gold. But it holds a magnetic force that, for centuries, has been believed to draw wealth, opportunity, and fortune into a person's life. It's a small bag. Yes, a bag, one often tied with red thread, filled with a few modest items like coins, rice, or a handwritten wish. In Feng Shui, it's known as the money bag, a sacred object symbolizing your intention to welcome wealth with gratitude and presence. You might be wondering, how can something so small make such a big difference? The answer lies not in superstition, but in symbolism. In both Feng Shui and Buddhist thought, the space around us reflects the energy within us. The money bag isn't a magical object. It's a message. A declaration that you are no longer chasing abundance in desperation, but instead making space for it to arrive, naturally and peacefully. Just like monks use a mala to return their attention to the breath, householders can use a money bag to return to their financial awareness, their spiritual values, and their trust in the flow of life. But here's the truth most people miss. It's not just about having the money bag. It's about where you put it, and how you honor it. In the wrong place, it can do nothing, or worse, block abundance. In the right place, it becomes a subtle but powerful activator of energy. In today's video, we'll uncover everything you need to know about using a Feng Shui money bag the right way. We'll talk about where to place it, what to put inside it, and, most importantly, how to use it as a living ritual to shift the way money flows in your life. And near the end of this video, I'll share a deeply personal story that shows how this small act changed an entire family's fortune. So take a deep breath, and let's begin a journey into the hidden language of wealth, energy, and spiritual alignment. You may never look at a simple pouch the same way again. Part 2. More than just money, the sacred symbolism of the Feng Shui money bag. At first glance, the Feng Shui money bag may seem like a charming cultural trinket, a small pouch tied with red thread, filled with coins or grains. But when seen through the eyes of ancient wisdom, it becomes something much more profound. In both Feng Shui and Buddhist philosophy, wealth is not simply about accumulating things. It's about energy, how it moves, where it pools, and whether it nourishes or depletes. Wealth, in its truest form, is a flow, not a possession. This is why the money bag has been revered for centuries, not because it magically creates money, but because it acts as a symbolic container of readiness. It's a declaration to the universe, I am open to receive, with humility, clarity, and purpose. To understand this, consider how a monk carries a begging bowl, not to beg, but to stay open. The bowl symbolizes surrender, receptivity, and the natural law of giving and receiving. The money bag plays a similar role for those walking the householder's path. It holds the intention of prosperity, not just for oneself, but for the well-being of others, too. Traditionally, money bags are filled with items chosen not just for their material value, but their energetic significance. 3 or 6 Chinese coins, often tied with a red thread, represent circulating wealth and protection. A few grains of rice or a pinch of soil, grounding you in abundance from the earth. A crystal or clear quartz, amplifying intention and clarity. A handwritten affirmation, such as wealth flows to me with ease and grace. Each item is a message, not to the heavens, but to your own subconscious. Because what you hold physically, you begin to hold energetically. And what you hold energetically begins to shape the choices you make, the opportunities you attract, and the presence you bring into your daily life. This is not about luck. It's about alignment. In the Dhammapada, the Buddha reminds us, all that we are is the result of what we have thought. The money bag is not a shortcut to success, it is a tool of mindful intention, a reflection of our readiness to live in harmony with the flow of abundance. So before we place it, before we activate it, we must ask ourselves, what kind of energy are we truly ready to receive? Because once we know the answer to that, the placement becomes far more powerful. Part 3, where you place it changes everything. In Feng Shui, placement is never random. Every object, every corner, every direction speaks a silent language, one that either invites energy or blocks it. And when it comes to the money bag, where you place it isn't just a helpful suggestion, it's the key that determines whether the energy flows or fades. Think of it like tuning an instrument. You may have the most beautiful violin, but if it's out of tune, the music won't resonate. The money bag works in the same way. When it's placed with clear intention, it becomes a magnet for wealth and opportunity. But placed carelessly, it loses its power. Let's walk through the most powerful locations to place your money bag, and why each one matters. The southeast corner, the traditional wealth sector. According to the Bagua map in Feng Shui, the southeast corner of your home, or even just a specific room, represents wealth, abundance, and long-term financial growth. This is the most traditional placement for a money bag and one of the most powerful. If your goal is to build savings, secure investments, or create generational wealth, this is where your money bag should reside. A woman once shared that after placing her handmade money bag beside a jade plant in her southeast living room corner, she felt a shift. Within weeks, she received a long-delayed payment and later was offered freelance work she hadn't even pursued. That's not just coincidence, it's energy aligning. The northwest corner, opportunity and support. This corner is associated with helpful people, mentors, and career opportunities. If you're seeking guidance, business connections, or professional breakthroughs, placing a money bag here can activate that support. Consider pairing the money bag with a token of gratitude, like a handwritten thank you note or an image of someone you admire, to enhance its purpose. Near the front door, inviting wealth in. The front door is often referred to as the mouth of Qi, the main entry point for energy into your home. When placed wisely, a money bag near the entrance can symbolize welcoming abundance into your life. But this requires subtlety. Never place it directly in front of the door or on the floor. Instead, place it just inside the entrance, in a drawer, on a shelf, or inside a decorative box. This represents wealth entering and staying, not flowing back out. One couple placed their money bag in a carved wooden box near the front hallway. They said friends often commented on how peaceful and abundant their home felt, even though nothing obvious had changed. On your desk, connecting effort with reward. Your desk is more than a workspace. It's a center of productivity, action, and potential. Placing a money bag on the upper left-hand corner of your desk can align your daily work with long-term prosperity. If you prefer to keep it hidden, you can place it inside a drawer that holds your business documents or journal entries. Either way, it creates a powerful energetic link between your efforts and the abundance they generate. In the living room, sharing the energy. Your living room is a space of shared energy. It's where people gather, rest, and connect. Placing a money bag here, particularly in the southeast corner, can subtly raise the wealth energy of the whole home. Make sure the area is clean, uncluttered, and receives good natural or soft lighting. Placing the money bag near a painting or object that symbolizes abundance, like flowing water or gold-toned decor, can amplify its power. It should feel present, but not boastful. Visible, but sacred. A final thought. The key to placement is clarity. Wherever you choose to place your money bag, do it with presence. Treat it not as a lucky charm, but as a symbolic anchor for your financial and spiritual intentions. Because as you'll discover in the next section, the wrong placement, especially in places like the bathroom or directly on the ground, can unintentionally weaken or even block the flow of wealth energy entirely. Let's explore those mistakes next, and how to avoid them. Part 4. A real story, how a small money bag shifted an entire family's fortune. Her name was Diana. A single mother of 2, living in a modest apartment just outside Chicago. Life, for her, had become a cycle of work, bills, exhaustion, and guilt. She worked 2 jobs, cleaning offices at dawn and waiting tables at night, yet somehow, there was never enough. Never enough time. Never enough sleep. Never enough money to exhale. She wasn't lazy. In fact, she was always moving. But she felt like she was running in place, trapped in survival mode. What hurt more than the debt was the hopelessness. It's like life just passes by, she once said, and I'm always behind it, chasing. One cold afternoon, she ducked into a small used bookstore to escape the wind while waiting for a bus. With no intention of buying anything, she wandered the aisles until a worn, green paperback caught her eye, Simple Feng Shui for Difficult Times. Something about the title felt personal. She flipped it open and found a page about the money bag ritual. It sounded strange. Fill a small bag with coins, crystals, and a written intention. Place it in a specific corner of your home. Let energy settle. Let wealth return. She didn't believe it. But she didn't dismiss it either. In her words, I didn't have anything to lose. So I let myself try. That night, she stitched a bag using one of her late mother's old silk handkerchiefs, one of the few things she had kept. She tied it with red thread. Inside, she placed 3 old silver coins, a tiny smooth stone her daughter had once given her, and a handwritten note that simply read, "May peace and abundance flow through this home." She placed the bag in the southeast corner of her living room, behind a bamboo plant she had nearly given up on keeping alive. She didn't pray. She didn't expect. She just let it be. Nothing happened the next day. Or the next. But in the 3rd week, she received a phone call from a catering company she had applied to 6 months earlier, and forgotten about. They were hiring again and offered her weekend hours at better pay. Then, a few days later, her landlord unexpectedly told her she'd qualify for a housing subsidy due to her consistent rent history. It wasn't like the sky opened up, she said. But I started breathing differently. I started thinking differently. She began budgeting more intentionally. She started saying no to things that drained her. She cleaned her apartment not out of stress, but with love. That small pouch became more than a ritual. It became a turning point. I don't believe the bag changed my life, she told a friend. But I do believe it reminded me that I could. In Buddhist teachings, we often return to this truth: the outer reflects the inner. When we shift the way we see ourselves, when we say, I am worthy of abundance, not as greed, but as readiness, we begin to act in ways that invite it. Diana didn't wait for her life to be perfect before she took that small step. And you don't have to either. Because sometimes, the smallest gesture, a stitched bag, a handwritten note, a quiet placement, isn't about superstition at all. It's about reclaiming the belief that energy can change. And so can we. Part 5. Placement mistakes that block wealth. What to never do with your Feng Shui money bag. The money bag is a symbol of intention. But like any sacred tool, its power depends on how we treat it. Used mindlessly, even the most powerful symbols lose their meaning. That's why placement isn't just about where, it's about how and why. Let's walk through the most common mistakes people make when placing their Feng Shui money bag, and how to avoid them. 1. Placing it directly on the floor. This is one of the most frequent errors. The floor may seem like a convenient spot, especially in corners, but in energetic terms, it represents heaviness, transience, and sometimes even disregard. When you place your money bag on the floor, especially in a neglected spot, you're symbolically saying, this energy is low priority. In Feng Shui, we elevate what we honor. Just as we don't eat meals off the ground or place sacred texts on the floor, your money bag deserves a clean, raised surface, a shelf, a drawer, a table corner. This one shift can change how energy responds to the object. 2. Placing it in the bathroom or near drains. Bathrooms represent release and removal. In Feng Shui, they carry what's called draining energy, the type of flow that removes rather than retains. While bathrooms are necessary for balance, they are not the place to keep objects meant to preserve and multiply energy. Putting your money bag in or near a bathroom sends a confusing signal. We want wealth, but we're placing it where energy escapes. If your southeast corner happens to fall in the bathroom, a common problem in apartments, find the closest adjacent room and use Feng Shui remedies like mirrors or plants to symbolically redirect the wealth zone. 3. Placing it in cluttered or messy areas. The energy around your money bag matters just as much as the bag itself. If it's buried in piles of paper, tangled in unused cords, or sitting next to garbage or forgotten items, its energetic signal becomes distorted. Clutter creates chaos. It prevents energy from settling and amplifying. It also reflects an inner state of mental or financial disorganization. The solution is simple. Choose a space that's clean, open, and intentional. You don't need a special altar, just a corner or shelf that's respected, free of mess, and maybe lit with soft, natural light. 4. Ignoring or forgetting about it. Energy responds to attention. When your money bag becomes just another dusty decoration, it loses its purpose. This doesn't mean you have to obsess over it. But it should be something you return to, consciously. Once a week, you might clean the area, touch the bag gently, or whisper a simple intention. Once a month, refresh it with sage, incense, or just fresh air. Once a year, perhaps during the Lunar New Year or your birthday, you can revisit its contents. Remove anything that no longer resonates and add something that reflects your new goals. A forgotten money bag is like a seed never watered. The container remains, but the life within it fades. 5. Placing it without clear intention. This is the subtlest, but most damaging, mistake, using the money bag as a quick fix, a charm without meaning. When you place it without clarity, without a genuine wish, purpose, or sense of alignment, it becomes hollow. In Buddhism, intention precedes manifestation. Every mindful action begins with shanda, the will to move in a meaningful direction. So before you place your bag, pause. Ask yourself, why am I doing this? What do I wish to invite into my life, not just in numbers, but in experience? Write that on a slip of paper. Fold it with care. Let your money bag carry that message. Final thought, don't do it just to do it. A Feng Shui money bag isn't a superstition or a guaranteed outcome. It's a tool of consciousness, a physical reminder that you are ready to live in partnership with energy, with responsibility, with flow. So place it mindfully. Keep it clean. Check in with it often. And most importantly, let it reflect who you're becoming, not who you're afraid to remain. Because it's not the object that brings the wealth, it's the intention you place inside it. Part 6. Moonlight Activation. How to energize your money bag with sacred timing. There's something sacred about the moon. Unlike the sun, which gives off light through force and fire, the moon reflects. It doesn't demand attention, it invites presence. In Feng Shui and Buddhist teachings alike, the moon has long been honored as a symbol of intuition, clarity, and emotional flow, all of which are deeply tied to how we hold and receive wealth. That's why one of the most powerful ways to activate your Feng Shui money bag is to place it under the light of the moon. This isn't about superstition. It's about rhythm. In the same way that farmers once planted crops by the moon, and monks followed lunar cycles for meditation retreats, we too can align with this natural energy, gently, mindfully, by charging the objects that carry our intentions. Choosing the right time. There are two especially potent phases of the moon to work with. New moon, a time of planting seeds, perfect if you're setting fresh financial goals or calling in new energy. Full moon, a time of reflection and harvest, ideal if you're reinforcing existing wealth or expressing gratitude for progress. Either one can work. Trust your intention. Preparing the space. Start by choosing a clean, quiet place where moonlight reaches, like a windowsill, a balcony, or even a table near an open window. Gently wipe down the surface. Lay a clean cloth, preferably in calming colors like white, gold, or soft green. You may place a candle, a stick of sandalwood incense, or a small crystal nearby, but these are optional. What matters most is the state of your mind. The ritual: place your money bag on the cloth. Sit down beside it. Take 3 slow breaths. Close your eyes. Bring to mind what you're calling in, not just more money, but the feeling of enoughness, flow, and trust. If you've written an affirmation inside the bag, read it aloud or silently. Say a short blessing. May this bag carry the energy of clarity, abundance, and peace. May it serve as a reflection of who I'm becoming. Let the bag rest in the moonlight overnight. No need to do more. When you wake the next day, retrieve it gently. You don't need to feel anything dramatic. The shift is often subtle: a renewed sense of calm, a clearer intention, a softened resistance. A gentle practice. You can repeat this ritual once or twice a month, or during special milestones, birthdays, new ventures, or personal turning points. Over time, the act itself becomes a reminder that you are in partnership with the energy you wish to attract. In a world that glorifies speed, this moment under the moon is a pause. A return to the quiet, knowing that wealth, like the tides, moves when we align with its natural rhythm. As we close this part of the journey, remember this. A money bag doesn't need to be full. It needs to be intentional. Placed with care. Held with presence. Activated with light. Now, let's reflect on the deeper lesson behind everything we've explored so far. Part 7. The real secret: it's not the object, it's the intention. By now, you've learned how to create a Feng Shui money bag, where to place it, how to activate it, and what to avoid. But before we end this journey, let's pause and go deeper. Because here's the truth: the bag itself holds no power. It's not stitched silk or ancient coins that create wealth. It's not crystals or placement or rituals alone that bring abundance. It's you. It's your intention, your awareness, your willingness to meet life with clarity instead of fear, with gratitude instead of grasping. The money bag is just a mirror, a symbol of something much more sacred: your readiness to receive without clinging, and to grow without losing your peace. In Buddhist teachings, there is a concept called right livelihood, a part of the Noble Eightfold Path. It doesn't just mean earning a living ethically. It means aligning your work, your money, and your energy with your values. It means understanding that how you relate to wealth is just as important as how much of it you have. When you place a money bag in your home, you're not asking the universe to give you something. You're showing the universe that you're ready to participate, to engage with the energy of wealth consciously, responsibly, and compassionately. Wealth, in this sense, becomes more than money. It becomes freedom to choose with integrity, the power to help without fear, the space to rest without guilt, the ability to give without keeping score. None of these can be bought, but all of them can grow when you begin from a place of awareness. So if there's one thing I hope you take from this video, it's not the ritual, it's the reminder. You are the source. The money bag, the moonlight, the placements, these are tools. Helpful ones, yes. But the true shift happens when you reclaim your role as a co-creator of your experience. Place your bag. Set your intention. But more importantly, live in a way that reflects what you've already claimed. Make space not just on your shelf, but in your heart. Because when you shift from chasing wealth to cultivating it, mindfully, with compassion, something beautiful happens. You stop fearing money. You stop worshiping it. You begin flowing with it. And that's where true prosperity begins. If this message spoke to something inside you, if it reminded you that your energy matters, that your space reflects your spirit, and that even small rituals can open big shifts, then I invite you to walk this journey a little further with us. There are many tools in this world, but wisdom only grows when it's shared. So if this video offered you insight, peace, or inspiration, please take a moment to like this video to let us know it resonated. Subscribe to Wisdom of the Dharma so you never miss a new teaching. And share it with someone who may be quietly needing this exact reminder right now. And in the comments, tell us, where will you place your money bag? What intention are you ready to plant? Because when you speak it, you shape it. When you declare it, you begin to embody it. Until next time, stay rooted, stay intentional, and may abundance find you wherever your spirit is aligned.